baby sleeping. Quickly, let's make another video now. So in this episode, I will show you how we are going to make this chair. What is quite interesting about the geometry and the modeling process is how, for example, everything is kind of rotated, not vertical or horizontal, and the backrest is even arced. And we will take a look at also how to texture everything quite nicely and believable. In this video, because of the complexity of this model, I show how I, for example, start blocking out a basic proportion of a chair first, and then go first through exploring a basic design, and then only we will go into modeling a more advanced version. We will also go to Sketchup and install few add-ons, for example, Curvy Loft this time, which is really good. And there's another one for adding thickness. We will also go to Photopea to create another book matching for this texture. And from Sketchup we will download this Plywood texture and then use it. I used, since I have a paid account, the high-res version. You can also simply download the free version. Okay, let's go. In the next step, we want to set up our scene, camera to parallel projection, window, and model info. We set this to decimal. We can work with inches, and here we can turn off the snapping for the lengths. Okay, very good. So we would like to model actually the chair. And the chair is very geometrical and can look quite intimidating, but it is actually very easy when we try to do this in kind of like in a controlled way. So we will create first our kind of like three-dimensional template. We will select the pen tool, and then let's say we start from the side. So the chair is along the z-axis 18 inches high. Very good. There we are. Then what we sit on, the horizontal part, let's say that is 16 inches. Very good. And then we can go down. This is 18 inches again. And here I click. Very good. So now I have kind of like a side profile, as you can see. Now I can select everything. Double click, go to move command, and the chair has a width along the x-axis of 16 inches. So that means when I click and move this along the x-axis, 16 divided by 2, that's 8 inches. Very good. Nice. I can press the Alt key and make a copy of this along the x-axis by 16 inches. So you see now I have the left and right side. Very good. The fill I delete, the fill here I delete. The lines down there I don't know yet. I will keep them. And I would like to modify this design a little bit more. Currently, this is a horizontal line. I would like this to be a little bit lower so that the front is 18 inches high and the back is 17 inches high. So this point has to go down. There's no point I can necessarily click, but if I go to the move command with nothing selected, you see there it finds the endpoint. Click, press the up key or up arrow key, enter 1, press enter, there we are. Cool. So if we take a look from the side, there, that should go down. Very good. Nice. Now we can connect there, align, escape, and align and escape. Yeah, here this fill I delete. And now it's time to do the backrest. Backrest is 16 inches high along the z-axis, and then I go over along the x-axis till it finds, for example, these snapping points. Click and click. Very good. And this I can select and delete. There we are. Now this is a very uncomfortable backrest, so let's rotate it. I only need to rotate actually this line. The lines here in between will move with it. So with this line selected, we go to rotate, move our mouse to the center of rotation, and then based on the left, right, up or down arrow key, as you can see, I can switch the axis of rotation. This is correct in my case. I want to rotate along the x-axis. Very good. Then I can click, select my first rotation starting point, and now I can visualize how much should this maybe be. Maybe like this. So let's say 10 degrees. Okay, let's go to a side view. Yeah, it's a little bit more than 90 degrees. Okay, very nice. Good. Essentially, what I created now is a framework of the raw proportion of the chair. And to make sure that I will not manipulate these lines in any way, I will select all, right click, make a group. Also, let's go to tags and go to entity info. And then let's call this maybe, so this group is chair framework for the tag. Oh, interesting. I didn't really add it. Share. Oh, framework. I guess no space in between. Oh, that's actually interesting. Well, it does not really create the tag. Well, good. Let's do it this way. Chair framework. Thank you. And then place here. Join it to there. So this way I can always show and hide it. Very good. Sweet. So let's create our first basic wood shell. We will use the pen and then we will retrace these two lines. Then we can stop, and for the moment we can hide actually the tag with the chair framework. So this is perfectly positioned. We can select these two lines and then go to offset and do an offset, maybe by 0.5 millimeters. Very good. And when we do an offset, now we have to be careful that when we do it, it really will be parallel to, or planar actually to this. Will be sketched first. So they don't from the side move to somewhere else. The easiest way to figure out if everything is correct is now at the end, we draw in our missing end lines. And when then there is a fill color, perfect. This is very good. So this is a nice flat plane. The corner here is very sharp, same there. So we actually should first ideally round this. So with this done, we can go to the arc command, click and then find the tangent position. So the arc is magenta, double click, and let's select the arc. Let's make this 3 inches. Very good. Then we can select all 3 elements again, go to offset, click and drag this to 0.5 and make a line there. Very nice, no? So it's pretty easy. If we then show the template again, then we could go to push and pull, select the filling and push it over till it snaps to there. Double click this and then we can say here make group, and we have a very basic flat shell. Not too complicated. Okay, so with this, let's actually now work on the legs. First, we make a tag, basic wood shell, and then this group we associate to this tag. Very nice. Good. So for the lag, we will do a basic model. It's 1/2 inch of a material thickness for the pipe. And when we take a look at the side, the lag should maybe be a little bit in front, kind of like a little bit more to the back, because this is where we sit. This is center of gravity or the mass. And also our wooden shell, as you can see, sits down a little bit because this is the surface we sit on. So we need to draw a pipe that runs through there. So to do this, here I can now click on this line, click to there. Here actually the arc stops, that is nice. And then I go back to there and stop. Let's take a look at what we have. No? Very easy. We said this one here, we would like to move a little bit more forward. To do this, we select nothing and go to the move command and then go to this endpoint and then along the y-axis, you see the green dotted line. Be careful about the snapping. And we move this forward maybe by an inch. Not too much, just a little bit. And this one here, we move back 2 inches. Very good. So if this is now the center of the pipe, it will logically collide actually with the wood part and will not really sit under it. So we have to move this line a little bit further down. How do we do this? So let's say we make half an inch of a pipe. So we need to bring this one down the radius of a pipe, which is 0.25 inches. And the easiest way, what I will do here, as you can see, is I will create from this edge a guide that goes down by 0.25 and enter. And yep, this is also parallel. So here again, be careful what direction we really go. No? This is now really going parallel straight down. Very nice. So here, to be very easy and fast, we simply draw this line. Very nice. And we can, with the eraser, remove all the stuff we don't need. Very good. Then let's add a nice arc here to the end. Double click and a smaller arc here, double click, and then we will overwrite the size 1.5 inch. What is this? 3 inch. Very good. Yeah, well, it starts to shape up actually really nice. Very good. We need now a circle. I will just create a circle radius 0.25. So it has 1/2 an inch of a diameter. And then this whole thing I will select, and with the move command from the center, move to this endpoint. Very good. Okay, so now sweep, select this, and then we will sweep this along the pipe. When I go to the side view, what's pretty cool is you see how this is angled, but my circle before was flat. That actually, it's really nicely solved in SketchUp. It does actually rotate the plane or the profile for us. Very good. Then this, we can triple click and then make a group. And let's make a copy of this. If we want, we can keep it right at this corner, or we can bring this a little bit further, further to the right or to the left. Let's say this should actually be a stacking chair. Then actually this needs to be moved to the right side by plus minus, yeah, 1/2 an inch. Very good. And then from this view, I work in the orthographic front with the move command, press the Option Tab key to make a copy along the x-axis, and that should be 16. Yeah, 16.5, because the pipe is half an inch thick. There we are. And if we want these two legs, let's put those actually also into this layer. Sorry, tag. They call this now tags. So this is all then nicely put together. And this one here, I will group right now because it is being edited on untagged. So make a group, and then here I will make a new tag, and I call this lag path or lag profile, and then move this one onto that tag. You again move a group or a component. You do not, well, this is tag lag, select the geometry and tag this to somewhere else. This can really mess up SketchUp a lot. Very good. Okay, so now we actually have modeled this. Well, it's actually pretty easy. For example, if we would like to do the static better, when we want to move this one down. So what we could do is very quickly, here there's a line. So wait, there's the end line. I go to here, but maybe only till, yeah, maybe till there. Okay. So you see how I retraced this element. Then I need to put this arc here back in. There, that fits it. I will go to a side view because this will be easier to do that way. And show me the correct layer. It's really irritating how the layers here sometimes switch. There we are. Okay, so this one I would like to hide. So there's now this line, and I will take this line and draw this down to here, a little bit, maybe to there. It should not snap to anything, which is why I drew this actually further away. Then I click nothing, select this point, press the left arrow key in my case, and bring this back so it sits come on, it sits kind of like there. Very good. And then this point here. Now, can I what's the easiest way to extend this? See, that's a little bit tricky. How do we do this? Easy. Here again, we drag up and drag down a guideline. And then simply along this guideline, we move this point there. So what I'm trying to do is to get something that is actually more perpendicular. Okay. And then I could go and say, make this smaller on purpose. Double click. Very good. And then this one, I can go ahead and say 1 inch, 2 inch, or 1.5 inch. Okay, now you see here, this actually gets flush. That's maybe not good. So let's do few undos. Then I will go to the move command, try to find just the point. There we are. Go back to the side view. Okay, I will move this on purpose a little bit further away. And then go back, click, double click, select this one, 1.5. And you see how now I can get a little bit closer. Yeah, this is actually really nice. You see it nearly lines up where the arc starts, and then this extends a little bit further. And this tiny segment here at the end, the straight line, I just delete. Yeah. Very good. So with this done, now I can select everything, make myself an offset 0.5. This time I go up simply because I started drawing this actually from the lower part of the existing shell. There we are. Now I need to extrude this. There's my framework. Push and pull this one to there. Double click and make group. Very good. Yeah. So now, of course, I have two models here. Now, what do I do? Because they are so simple. Maybe here the first one actually. I still have them both hidden. So let's show them both. There is the hidden one, and this one I will simply move over by, let's say, not 20 there. Because I have this framework, I always have snapping points where I can reposition everything. Or I could say here, midpoint to midpoint. So this way I can very easily, as you can see, develop very quickly variations of a chair. So if I take a look at this now, well, my design idea at the beginning was maybe okay, but now I see, whoa, this is really far back. The shell itself is good, it's just the lag. This arc needs to go further back here, it needs to go down. And this way you can identify problems. Okay, so this was everything for now how to model this really basic chair. Now, if we would like to have a backrest that is slightly bent and not so linear, we can't really do this actually with the built-in tools SketchUp provides. With the push and pull, we can only extrude along one direction, but we can't really blend or loft. Loft is actually the 3D modeling command we're going to use. And what we will do is we will have an outside, a modified inner, and then a copy of the outside profile. And then we loft or skin between them. That's kind of like the 3D modeling process. For that, Steve Jobs might have said there is an app. Well, for SketchUp, there is an extension for that. We go to Sketch Education, create your account, log in. Then we go plugin store. And again, the command we're looking for is called Loft. There it is, Curvy Loft. More info. We can download it. If you have not ever downloaded any plugin from Fredo, then you also need to download the lib Fredo 6. That's a shared library you need to use. If you have an extension from him already installed or this one installed, then we don't need to do this twice. Okay, so back to SketchUp. Here, I have actually Curvy Loft installed, Loft by Spline, Path, or Contours. Very nice. So some of the work actually we did, we can continue working with. So I will copy this object. Then I will make a new tag and maybe call this advanced wood shell. Very good. Then let's go ahead and say paste in place. And then this will go to the advanced tag. Turn this off. And there it is. Very nice. Now I can select this group, right click and say explode. Because what we will do now is we will select this and just the face and delete it. This we delete all too. Yes, that all goes. We can also use the eraser and just paint over parts. That works pretty good too. Just be careful that you don't paint over elements you actually want to keep. There we are. There's one piece, there's one piece. And here the center goes. Just two. Okay. Good. Looks like here, we just do it this way. And then now there you can see we have the outside and we also have the inside. Very nice. So we will now do the following. I will draw here a line. You see? The reason why I drew the line is now I can, with the mouse, select all the elements of this outer profile, then go to Move command, turn on the copy function via the Option key, and then move a copy to the center. There. Stop. Select this, delete, delete. Very good. Okay, so now we have 3 profiles. Each one, however, is actually the same. That doesn't necessarily really make much sense. So let's do a quick manipulation. I moved this line a little bit to the back. So you see kind of like what we're doing. Then we go to Fredo Collections, Curvy Loft, Loft by Spline, and then I click, click, and click, and say, yeah, validate all good, all good. Then we can rotate our view. And there you see actually what happened. Pretty nice. You can see how this blends. And the rest is nice and linear. We have some settings up here. Make a linear blend or smooth blend. There are various options for that. It's actually also quite nice how this flows. So there are literally many different options. I will go with this one. This has actually a really nice arc. Good. Then we can click on OK. And we have the surface. Now there's actually a little bit of a problem. You can see here, this is a kink. We just only moved this line. So what this means is the center line and including this arc, we need to modify or rebuild a little bit better. Okay, so let's undo our steps, or we can also actually simply delete that object. This one here, I will delete too. And let's do this one more time. There. Select all that stuff. And then make a copy, bring this over. Very good. When I click on this, it tells me this is a 3.5 inch arc. I can delete this one. Why did I do this? Well, first I need to extend this a little bit. There, escape. And then I extend this one. There. And if all is good, I should be able to remove this overhang. And now, this here I can remove two. Here's now a little trick or tip. I would like to move this one kind of like perpendicular back. How can I do this? Actually here, let's do an offset just maybe from this line. But it doesn't really do this, as you can see. Oh, there's actually, there was something else. Yeah, you noticed. Good, a little bit of cleanup. You see here, this line actually I re-snap. And then here, this extension I remove, and this I re-snap. Okay, let's see if this maybe now will do it. No, it does not. What about when we select these two lines? Yeah, no, and it works there. Very good. Cool. Click and drag, remove this one. So why did I do this? I have actually now created some extra lines which I need to clean up. But as you can see, I can draw then a line, and this I can remove. And this line here is kind of like a direction. So let's go to a side view. There you see this is 90 degrees because we did an offset. That's perfect. Very good, because now I can go ahead and say, so from there to to there, how much of a degree do I want? Maybe something like this. This is actually good. Then all this I can remove, including this one. And would I like the seating surface to be flat, or would I like this to dip down? Let's see how this works when we select this point and move it. Well, we could move this down a little bit, but then you see this arc changes. We might need to repair this arc. So let's keep this one the same as here, because we would need to select this arc, remove it, extend the part, and then rebuild the lines, and then put in an arc like I'm doing here right now. And then this also 3.5, very good. If we go to a side view, there you can see now how we extended this actually quite nicely. And this goes at a nice perpendicular line. Very good. So we know this is all good. Now we can go to Curvy Loft, Spline, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will again select this one. Yeah, this actually looks super nice. We have amount of segments, 1/6. Yeah, that's not too bad. Enter. There we are. Sweet. Okay, so how can we now create the thickness to it? Well, let's go push and pull. Command doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Well, because this is not a flat surface. This push and pull extrude only works on a flat surface. No, the solution to that is, again, an extension for it. So we will use joint push and pull. They call this joint because all the individual faces here, they can be extruded all together. This command, also here we can find in Sketch Education, this is called joint push. And then you only find actually this classic version when you type in joint push, so with a space in between, then we get this version. That's the one we want. So click on it, more information. There we are, perfect. Also here, this one needs the Fredo lib, install it in case you haven't. Click download, and in SketchUp then we install it. So when we go back to SketchUp, I downloaded the plugin via the extension manager and joint push and pull. Thicken, that's the one we would like. Because what the command we're trying to do here right now is to add a thickness, so thicken. Pretty much the same literally in all CAD programs. We can click and drag, and look at that. There is our surface. 0.5, enter. That's it. Beautiful. Now we can, and actually we don't have to turn this into a group because the software did that already for us automatically. So this group we will then put onto advanced wood shell. There we are. And here we have actually also all this. That's good. This mistake happened. So you know that this was an object or a group on, we copied into this tag and then we exploded it because this was this previous piece. And when I turn this off, you see this, but not the rest. This I drew new and cleanly, but this here, the rest was all actually on this tag, and that again is not good. So we bring this all back to tag untagged. And if we want to right click, make group, and then we can Yeah, where do we put this to? Maybe make a new tag we call advanced wood shell profiles. Very good. And then let's hide all this stuff. There we are. Sweet. Yeah, so there's actually now our much more interesting and well-designed shell. Few piece of advice. You see this is kind of segmented. That is because for the Loft I didn't really use as many segments. More segments, smoother results, but also more work. So it is always a question of when this object is really far away, I don't really see the difference. If I really zoom in a lot, then I will see it. You will learn how to make the decisions, how many segments to use by practice. It will come with time. Very good. So for this, let's quickly build a new lag system too. Here is the shear frame. There we start. Then I click somewhere there, click here, click there. Okay, so here now we know I made a mistake at the beginning. I made this too short. So knowing what we did wrong from the first one, I will bring this one down. I actually bring this one down by 0.5 inches. So maybe we can see what happens when we create a pipe that is 1 inch thick, which is really thick, but why not? And then here I will draw the line. There we are. I will hide this and remove these elements. Very nice. Then I know this one, that has to really go further back. And I only would like to, okay, I might have to hide this one. Stop. See how that other one still pops in. Come on. Okay. Maybe let's change the view there. Okay, now it works better. Thank you. And let's say 3 inches along the y-axis. Very good. And let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's take a look at the advanced wood shell. See, we can actually bring this even further because this will be rounded. Very good. Let's do this. So you slide more along, maybe till there. Okay, and then this one down there. You notice how this always tries to be in my way. Can we actually lock this one? So I can't at least snap to it, and there is a lock command there. So let's see if that actually helps. Oh, it does wonders. Very good. Okay. When we round this, then this line is actually maybe a tick too far to the back. Maybe I go till there. Okay, good. So let's do a rounding again. There we are. Double click and do the same here. Double click. Oh, look at that. Oh, this nearly lines up neatly. That's actually pretty good. And we say 4 inches, 3.5. What about this one? 1.5. Okay, very good. So let's make a ring. Radius 0.5. So it is a really big pipe, basically with an inch of a diameter. Then we snap it. And then we run it along. There we are. Yeah, maybe an inch is a tick too big. What about we say now, Let's make this one. So 0.75 divided by 2. That is 0.375. 0.375. Okay, so half an inch. Sorry, 3/4 of an inch. And then we just run it across, compare. Still big, but it's okay. Good. Very nice. Yeah. The whole thing we will select, make a group. We can keep it where it is, so there's a little bit of an overlap that actually makes it look not too bad. It will be very easy to take a look at the front and go to the copy command, and then along the x-axis, is that 16? Yeah, it looks like 16 inches to move it over along the x-axis. Good. And yeah, also here we put this onto advanced shell. So yeah, so the modeling is done here. We can delete this line. This all actually looks much better now if we compare this to our basic shell. Yeah, nice try. This looks much better. So I hope also with this exercise you saw how modeling you should not necessarily use as thinking about something as the final product. Sometimes we don't know yet the proportions. And then we quickly try to block proportions or shapes out, knowing that we might have to refine them. So we don't waste a lot of time on fine detail before we really know it. And then once that is figured out, then we can go ahead and do this better. So last step to do, let's put on some wood materials. That's actually going to be really nice in this exercise. So we will put a wood veneer onto the front and the back, and then we will put a plywood layer along the sides. The download link for the material is inside the scene description. I have this on the desktop. So because we have to bookmark it or match it, we will go to Chrome. Then we can type in Photoshop Online, just for those who don't know how to find things. And there's one link, Photopea. Pretty good. That's kind of like, it's not kind of like, it is essentially a rebuild of Photoshop running in the browser. It's free. There's also a paid version with online storage. But for most of the work, what we do, rotating, manipulating an image a little bit, this is more than sufficient. I will go File Open because I downloaded the file already for the texture. I put this into one folder here. There it is. Open. Very good. I showed this already in a different video, but it never hurts to show this again. And I would like from this section that is 170 pixels high. So let's say 180 multiplied by 2, 360. So we go up 360. So this is plus minus what I would like to keep. Okay. And the reason how I calculate it is just, you see here, there are the cathedrals that look really nice. I will actually drag now this maybe to here and see if I can't find a different pattern. This is actually not too bad. You see, this is slightly arced, which is not ideal, but you can see here we have lines and lines in a nice cathedral at the center. Let's use this one. Very good. Okay, so we go to Edit and Cut. Then we drag a selection over everything, press Delete on backspace, and then we say Paste. And then this we can drag down. and we go paste one more time. There's the thing. And what we want to do now is, so this we would like to flip vertically. And where is it? Transform, there. Flip vertically. And then when we line this up, look at that. You see here how we get really nice patterns. We can quickly preview the other side. Also there, that looks pretty nice. So this I bring into one corner. I bring this to the other corner. The Alt Option key mouse wheel, we can zoom in, and then when we select one layer, this is the upper layer, and I use the arrow key up down. You see I can make sure there's no gap. Let's zoom out, and then we go to crop. This goes down to 360 divided by multiplied by 2, so 720. Enter. So, and this will save, export as PNG, and I will go to my downloads folder. There it is. I will call this wood veneer book match. That's a type of matching too. And then I will drag this one into my textures folder. Very good. So back to SketchUp. Then we will go to materials, right click, new material. There it is. I don't really know height, width, size, or whatever, but let's say 3 feet. Make this a little bit bigger on purpose. Very good. Then we can double click, select this face, drag this one onto it, and be really amazed about the garbage we see there. Welcome to SketchUp. It's so easy to learn, yeah, because if you want to do something different than modeling a cube or a cylinder, it makes you want to pull your hair out. Or we have to go to Sketch Education and get an extension to do it right. And that is right. So the UV unwrapping here completely fails. For the flat part is okay, but for whatever or wherever it's round, as you can see, it is utterly garbage. So back to Sketch Education. For those who did not install this before, we now want to look for Fredo Tools. There it is, Fredo Tools. It's a collection of a bazillion of commands inside one extension. And somewhere here is a command called paint through. There it is, paint faces and edges across boundaries, including UV unwrapping. That tool is actually superb. Click download. Also, this needs the Fredo lib again. If you haven't installed this, click here, download, install that too. So we go to extension manager and then install, find where is your extensions, click the one, click open, and that's it. Okay, so tools and Fredo Tools and through paint. There we are. First, we need to find the correct material. So now this says wood veneer book match 2. Perfect. We want quad mesh with distortion or deformation. That is correct. And then we can just click and yeah, wow, click and wow. Look how easy it is. Looks okay, but the veneer is pretty big. We made this work to, how could I say that, add a book matching type to it. So click on this one more time, so 2 times actually, and then we can do a scaling. First, let's scale uniform till I see a seam. See, there is actually the seam. So now I can move this up and down and see At one point, do I see the seam on the other side? Actually, I can drag this quite a lot. So, okay, good. And we can scale this even more. Okay, now we start seeing the seam on each side. So we have to scale this up a little bit. Very nice. So now we have the length. Now we can do the width and we pack in more veneer. This is completely artificial what we're doing, but for presentation purpose, well, that's actually pretty cool. And here now I try to match this so that's left and right and that it's even. Like this. Cool. Okay. Now we can go to the back. Here we do the same. So we know this really will be scaled significantly. Okay, tick bigger. Very nice. And then also a little bit more material. There we are. No? Tiny detail. However, that tiny detail really is what adds realism. There is obviously the so-called Sketchup Warehouse where all these models are there, and a lot of the models there are just utterly garbage. Sometimes the model is good, but then the texturing is really an eyesore, which I find always it is important to be able to model something at least to a usable, believable level, and then also texture it good, because you can create a very good illusion of perfection just with the textures. If the geometry is junk, you might not see that as long as the textures, so the materials, look actually really believable. And everything in SketchUp what we do is also about presenting an idea, so it doesn't have to be a geometry that is photorealistic or can go into a brochure or can be used for manufacturing. Yes, there are people who say I designed furniture with SketchUp. And I just don't know what they're talking about. Sorry. Okay, very good. So right click, new texture. We want to have the plywood layer. So I have the link for this texture in the description. Please go to there and download it. It is actually from a different website. For the height, we will go maybe 1 inch. Actually, hold on, let me just go 0.5 inch because that is the thickness we specified. And then this also specifies the width. Very good. Then double click and then we select all these 4 faces and drag our material on it. And also here, typical SketchUp result. For flat parts, it's okay. And the moment where it's rounded, the program gives up. SketchUp was invented at the beginning to build blocks to make a city line, and that was it. And over time, they decided, hey, we can extend the program to beyond what it really wasn't even intended for. So there's a lot of, there are thousands of extensions to make SketchUp do what other programs are simply made for doing. And then SketchUp still doesn't do it very good. I'm kind of ripping on SketchUp, so I know it's just the truth. Anyway, so we would like now to go to through paint again. And SketchUp has also a very enjoyable parts. For example, this UV unwrapping is really well made, and the drafting, I give it to that. It's just, it's not really great to model something beyond a house. Okay, anyway, back to track. So I selected the material. I turn on paint UV with distortion. Let's take a look at the top. You see how the texture actually looks horizontal. It doesn't really bend. And then we, there, click on this, select the correct mode, and it does it. Beautiful. What about here? Zip. Ah, beautiful. No, Sketchup would just do this automatically. They should hire that guy who makes all these extensions. Seriously. Click, and this way, click, zip. Okay, so rotation here is totally wrong. So we need to rotate it 90 degrees. Very good. Then what about here? That is good. What about there? That is good. Okay, so the size is a little bit odd. I would like on each piece the size to be correct. I could adjust this via this command, but that might be way too complicated. What happens when we go to here and say, well, okay, what about 2 inches? Ah, look at that. You see the material on each face got updated. Quite an amount of images, of lines. The texture is really, it shows really a significant amount of plywood layers. More layers than really I would use for a chair. On a chair, maybe I have like 10 or so, which is why I have to artificially increase this. This is maybe still, yeah, this is now getting more believable. 4. Yeah, yeah, this is getting too big now. So 3.5, very good. We have also a lot of tiling here. That's not good. So I will turn this one off and then say 12. So I'm stretching this on purpose. Maybe 24. Yeah. So let's go back to here. When I type in 4, you see tile, 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 tile. 24. Oh, there's something. There's something. Oh, there's something. Oh, looks like irregularities. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So then the last step, if we want to be a little bit of a perfectionist, you see here we have a texture misalignment. So back to through paint and click this one and then see, okay, where does this line up? Is it this one? No. Oh, look at that. There it is. So, perfect. Let's go to the other side. I will this time select this one. Whoa, 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 what happened here? What? Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I guess this one is cranky. We'll leave you alone. We'll come back later, maybe. Possibly not. And then here we can see where is this. There's a kind of like this imperfection there. So I'm just trying to rotate along the piece and looks like here I'm getting really close. Not 100%, but from a distance, that looks actually really, really close. Whoops, wrong click. And finished. Yeah, come on. Now this looks actually really nice. So there we are. As an additional design trick, maybe how can we cut an opening in there? So let's create a rectangle by, let's say, 4 inches by 2 inches. Okay, good. And before we do actually a lot of nice things, let's turn this into a group. And then we're not going to rotate around the edges. Go to here, bring this up. Then we need to rotate this one kind of like so it's perpendicular. Whoop. And then bring this in. It's actually not really perpendicular to that surface. This is maybe better. Okay. Maybe a little bit more in. There. Good. So because this is a group, this is a group, we can go to Tools and subtract and then say, whoa, which one is which one? Great, it only says select first solid. Is it this way? Oh yeah, cool. Clong. So there actually the piece got cut out. Good, so this actually works. Let's make this maybe a little bit more interesting. So this I will right click and hide for the moment. We have the Fredo round corner installed. So I might have to go into the group edit command. Ooh, this is way too much. 0.5. Yeah, this is better. You see how we are rounding every, or we are pre-rounding every corner. Very nice. Thank you. That is good. Then this surface here, put this one onto it. SketchUp should be able to, yeah, texture this flawless. It did. Very nice. Let's get out of the group edit, view, unhide all. There we are. And then this maybe, do we keep this at the center? Do we want to put this off center? We can bring this off center, but then when we hold it, the chair will wiggle a little bit or will rotate. But maybe this is a tick too high. Let's bring this down to here. Very good. And then again, solid tools, subtract, clock. And yeah, we have some textures in there, but it's more the Apollo capsule going to Houston saying, Houston, we have an issue. So we have to go in back. And then, as you can see, what SketchUp there did was garbage. But also here now we get an error message from the add-on. I can't really unwrap this correctly because there are more than 4 edges on all these faces. So what do we do in such a case? Well, option 1, we just leave it as is. Hope this is such a small, tiny detail that from a distance we don't really see it because we're not really zooming in as much. Or we decide, okay, good, then we don't show this. And I, for example, here, I hit too often, undo. Go back to here. And yeah, I will move this actually a little bit further down so I know where it is. There we are. Sweet. And then I will put this onto a new tag and call this hole opening. Put this one in there. And the main reason why is so because if I make the cut, then it's gone. I can keep this model this way. And if I want to show this chair maybe with the opening, then I could quickly open this file, cut this out, save this file as a new one, and then I have 2 files. Because the main reason, again, why I do this in this case is you saw the texturing is just kind of garbage. The rest is actually quite beautiful. This opening, okay, is a tiny feature. This might not be that much of a problem if I don't have it here right now, but then again, I can make a new model when I have to really do this. Very good. That's really everything. Congratulations. This was a long video.